Welcome back to Slice as we are continuing on with Championship Sunday. This match we're going to see the Dubuque Saints in the away Dark Reds taking on the home team for this game, West Madison Polar Caps, in the white jerseys. Little recap of both teams' tournament here so far and how we got here. On Friday night, the Polar Caps played against Arrowhead and lost a close one, 7-5. It was 6-5 with about a minute or so to go, and Polar Caps pulled their goalie to try and score and to tie it up, and Arrowhead got an empty net goal. And then in the next game, Dubuque took on Verona. I didn't write down a score for some reason for that game, but Verona won that. Verona is actually in the championship game, which is next. And then on Saturday, let me find them. Dubuque lost to Viroqua in overtime, 5-4. That was probably the best game of Saturday. I would say the Polar Caps had the best game Friday. And how did they do on Saturday? Where were they at? They played against Shaw, and I didn't write a score for that either. They must have won. No. Well, that's the B side of the tournament. Zoom in. Okay, so those are locker room assignments, and then that bracket is the B bracket. Well, they would have had to have won because this is the Pool A number 2 seed against the Pool B number 2 seed. And the first game this morning was a Pool, were the 3 seeds, so they would have had to have won. That's a way to start. Wow. Oops. So 10 seconds in, Polar Caps score off the face-off. Wow. Tyson Foggate's joining me now. How you doing, Tyson?
Very good.
Tyson's part of the Monroe Cheesemakers team. And you got your playoff game coming up Tuesday
Yes, sir.
at Waukesha. What time does that game start?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. I do not know anything about Waukesha, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've never played them before, so it'll be something new.
I'm sure Coach Einbeck is doing some film study on them.
Yeah.
So, what would be your highlight of the season, the regular season for the Cheesemakers?
Probably highlights for the team is probably Patrick's goal against Beloit in overtime, like 1 second left.
That was an awesome finish. Yes, I would agree. I was unable to go to the road games. Were there any memorable shots or moments?
Probably another one from Patrick when we were at Oregon, tied the game with 3 seconds left on the clock. We had the goalie pulled. We were down by 1, and we were in their zone and kind of had an umbrella across the top of the circle so anyone could pick up the puck and shoot. And Brady Spots won the faceoff back, and Patrick took a ripper from the top of the circle and scored.
Nice.
Tying us and bringing us into overtime. We did lose in overtime, but it was still a pretty impressive goal.
Especially against Oregon.
Yeah. Patrick just hit his 100th career point on Thursday. He's actually at 102 now after the game.
Oh, wow.
He surpassed our assistant coach, Tyler Johnson, on the leaderboard.
You know, Patrick's one of those guys that I've known him since, at least Bantams. And it feels like he just, I don't know. Dubuque scores here. It's like every year I expect, because he's very good. He's a very good player, and his mentality is excellent. He always seemed very mature, and so like every year, I'm like, well, Patrick's graduating, and nope, and then finally this year, he's a senior this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I always thought he was a junior or senior when I was a freshman. I didn't realize he was only 1 grade above me.
It's funny how different sports, especially with hockey, it can warp your perspective of a lot of things. Cam Newcomer is another one. Cam, one of the, was it the first year, I think, of Xander and the Squirts when they went up to state and lost the championship game in overtime against Amory. Cameron was on that team. And, he's a senior this year, too. Just one of those players that was just, real consistent, and you don't really think at the time that he may be 2 years younger.
Yeah.
You're a junior?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 1 more season.
Think you guys are going to have a JV next year?
Oh, no, definitely not. We'll probably be smaller than we are right now. Because we got, I think, 3 skaters coming up. And we're losing what?
7.
7? Yeah, 7 skaters. So we'll probably barely run 2 lines of forwards and maybe 2 lines of D plus an extra.
Man.
I'd have to think about it for sure, but I think we only have Lane Schilt, Tucker Mallory, and Brennan Tyrell, and possibly Sam Wilson. So that might be 3 to 4 kids coming up next year.
Yeah, for some reason at the start of this year, I thought when it came time for senior night, I thought that there were only like 3 seniors on the team, and then that's another case where I'm like, oh, Patrick's a senior. Oh, Cameron's a senior. I'm like, oh wow, there's actually 7 seniors, 8 with the equipment manager or assistant manager, and yeah, that's gonna leave a dent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one I forget that's a senior is Landon Grindy, because he played on our team like for Pee-wees and Bantams. And his freshman year, he actually stayed back. He was able to stay back and do one more season with our Bantam team.
Yep.
And then so he started high school hockey as a sophomore.
Yeah, Xander did the same thing. He was
on the COVID year team, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. They won state that year, right?
No, that would have been his sophomore year of high school and his first year on the high school team.
Oh.
Because he elected to do his second year at Bantams because the high school already had
2 goaltenders.
3 goaltenders.
3 goaltenders.
And yeah, because there was Heath Bear, Jaden Johnson, and Josh Leverton.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, well, I'll just stay, do my second year of Bantams, and then of course COVID hits, and Heath Bear graduated, Jaden stayed, but then Josh Leverton then decided to go play in Dubuque with the Saints. So it worked out.
Yeah.
I think for everybody.
Looks like Polar Caps has their number 13 Owen Kops back on the ice. He was suspended for their last game.
I saw they had a sign up over on their bench that said "Free Owen."
Yep. Yeah. I threw him out on Friday. He got 4 penalties.
That's right.
Yep. So yeah, once they get that 4th penalty, they're removed from the game.
And that counts against the next upcoming game?
Yep. So they're suspended, and then they're suspended from the current game and the next game.
Gotcha.
Yep. And the coach was understanding about it. He knew exactly what happened, and he even told me like I'll teach him a lesson about, because he was very aggressive with his stick and stuff, and that's what got him, I think, 2 trippings, a hooking, and a body check.
Yeah, I remember he spent a lot of time in the box down there. So.
Yep. Yeah, some coaches, once their kid will get their 3rd penalty, they'll probably bench him most of the game just to keep him out from not getting suspended. I know yesterday Verona, number 11, was very aggressive with the body and got himself 3 penalties, and I informed the coach, and he's like, yeah, he's sitting for the rest of the game. Which, this was in the 2nd period, so poor kid had to sit for a whole period. Very aggressive from the Polar Caps coach. Can hear him through the headphones.
Oh, yeah. Ow.
That's gotta hurt.
Offsides?
Offside.
Yeah, otherwise, this tournament this year has been pretty smooth.
Yeah.
We got a late start on Friday.
Yeah.
Other than that, yesterday we were well ahead of time because of the first 2 games.
I mean, yeah, we were so far ahead. Even once the exam was done, we were sitting there waiting for another 15 minutes just to make sure teams were both ready.
Even by the
What an interception. Oh, gets caught in traffic.
Good stop.
Yeah, I think if we would have just run as many run games back to back as fast as we could, we probably could have gotten an hour and a half ahead.
Oh, easily, because by the time the 8 p.m. game rolled around,
I think we started that at 7:30.
yeah, you could have started at 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Shawano team was not all here, so that's why they waited.
Yeah. Because, no one expects a hockey tournament to be running early, let alone an hour early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because typically the average time for a Squirt game with the shorter periods is like an hour 15, so they had an hour 30 block for each game, so it's going to definitely leave room for time to open up.
And then, days like today where, you start off the day with having a game go into overtime. You're like, well, I wonder, is this going to push us back? But then, you have games that have running clock then, so it all sets.
Even with the overtime, with the hour and a half block, I think the second game only started like 7 minutes late. So I think we got on the ice around 8:07. Or not 8:07, 9:37.
Yeah, it was supposed to start at 9:30, yep.
Yeah.
But, I mean, by the time this game happened, this game started on time.
Yeah.
The only thing I think it might affect with starting with this game and then obviously next game would be, if it goes into overtime and then, by the time you have the announcements and everything, hand out awards. Rise up! You gotta get up, goalie.
Oh, that's interference right there. Yeah, Bo's got that one.
The big X. Good boy. I didn't do it. It was the CIA.
Oh, Bo's arguing with him.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed some parents in the box don't pay attention to the clock very well, because I banged on the glass a couple times to let the kid out because they're sitting in there for an extra 15 seconds.
Yeah. Earlier today, I don't remember which game it was, but the parent that was running this box did kind of the opposite. They had the door open when there was still 3 seconds left.
Yeah. I get opening the latch so you can pull it, but they had that door all the way open. Especially, I think play was pretty close to it too, which is not good.
No.
Someone's gonna run into that door and get hurt.
Luckily, the player that was in the box was watching the clock.
Yeah.
Offsides.
Ooh, offsides.
How difficult is that to call?
It kind of depends where you are. I try if I can to be on the blue line so I can look directly down. But sometimes you just can't see it fully.
Right. Kind of like icing?
Yeah. Yeah, those bench coaches on the outside doors there, they've probably got a good view. So if I'm not on the line and I miss something, they're probably going to be the ones to argue with it.
Right.
But when you got parents that are on the opposite end arguing a call that they're 70 feet away from and I'm 5 feet away from.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, with offsides, you can have part of your body on the other side of the blue line as long as does it need to be a
skate? So yeah, typically a skate. So if there's a breakaway and say that Dubuque kid right there, say he got ahead of his teammate when they're trying to skate across. If he drags his foot, then most refs will let him off. It depends how far ahead he is.
Right.
Because like if I'll have people say like that should have been offsides when the kid crosses the line at the exact same time as the puck.
Yeah.
Another one that most people don't usually know is say this Polar Caps kid did a 360 crossing the line there and the puck came in after him. Since he's in control of the puck, it's still onside, even though the puck came in before him.
Okay.
Or he came in before the puck.
As long as he has control of it?
Yes. So, like, yeah, that's offsides there.
By about 10 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you miss them when there's a kid that laying on the ice behind you and you don't even see him.
Well, and referees are only human. You know, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
No, I don't forget which game it was yesterday, but there was, I don't think it was serious arguing. I think it was more of a good-natured argument about somebody having a possible goal down there, and the one player looked up and said, replay that. I'm like, dude, you're not going to be able to see anything from my angle.
Oh, yeah, the Polar Caps coach was the one. Yeah, he was pointing up at you, asking if we could get a replay on it as a joke.
Like, first off, you can't really see the line there. Maybe if I zoomed in. Yeah, it's not real clear.
Yeah.
But also, on top of that, the goalie and about 3 players were in between me and where the puck supposedly was. So I'm like, I can't see anything.
The only way you're going to be able to do a replay to check a line is when they got those cameras in the net.
Yep. And that's what I said. I'm like, I could hang up a second camera in the net facing straight down. And I said the only problem with that is I would only have enough battery power to make it last for maybe 3 games.
Yeah. What happened? What happened to the tower camera?
The tower of power?
Yeah.
It became a logistical thing that the amount that I was able to use it didn't really justify the pain in the butt it was to set up and take down. So, for those that don't know, I had a telescoping? Big tripod that went up 18 feet in the air, and I had it over there by turn 3, facing the Bermuda Triangle over here.
The Zam doors, kind of.
Yeah, because that's someplace that I cannot see, especially goal for the Polar Caps. They take advantage of the extra man. So yeah, this corner down there I can't see, and so I set up the remote camera and had it wireless transmitted over to me, and then I could switch to it. But usually, by the time I switched to it, the puck was almost out of that area, and then I would have to switch back. And by the time everything switched, it was just confusing for me to know, like, okay, well, what view am I looking at now? And by the time I would realize which angle I was looking at and where the puck was, then the view would change again. So unfortunately, I mean, the thought was a good one, but its usefulness was not very efficient. Now, if I could think of somehow to incorporate a second camera, I still have the wireless transmitters for the video camera. It becomes more of a thing of, if I'm close enough to an outlet, or if I have to rely on battery power, And if it's a battery power thing, then it's limited to. No, no, it doesn't. I think when I did the JV games and the varsity games with it, that that was about the max time that I could run it with a portable battery pack. No, 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 no. That's a different one. The 11-pound generator. That's a little bit more than 11 pounds.
I don't know. It's always felt like it because I had to carry it. When I had to carry it, you did a lot.
Yeah, the shipping weight said 11 pounds, but it was more like 30. I remember I had Xander put it in my vehicle, and he goes to lift it up. He goes, "This is not 11 pounds." They told me it was. We get ready for the second period here. Polar Caps lead 3-1. Ancient lore says that this is how hockey players communicate with themselves, through the banging of sticks, either on the boards or on the ice.
Or the kicking of skates on the boards.
I forgot about that.
Waiting on the clock. There we go.
You must not know how to take it off.
You ever thought of GoPros? Putting a GoPro on Brock or something?
I have not.
I just wonder if how often it'd get hit if you had one on top of his helmet.
Well, I mean, anytime, like whenever I have the wireless mic out on somebody, there's always the chance that it's going to take a hit, and that's going to be the last of the wireless.
Yeah.
As far as the GoPro on the goalie, I think I'd have more of an issue with opposing.
Oh, goal for Dubuque.
Dubuque gets a goal back, brings it to within 3-2. I don't know if other teams would have an issue with there being an additional thing on the equipment that could block a puck.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when Hans was trying to figure out where to put the mic, he wasn't sure if he should put it on his hip or he during the second period opted to clip it onto his chest protector in the front, kind of where the pads overlap in the middle.
Yeah.
Because he said that was the only comfortable spot, but he was also worried about if he took a hit or if he hit someone, if it's going to break.
Well, if it breaks, it breaks. I'm well aware of that risk. And
the other problem we had is it staying, so we had him lift his jersey up and started spinning, and I had a roll of clear tape just to wrap it around him.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. With the reffing pants, it's easy. I put it in my zipper pocket so I could just zip it closed, and the only thing that came out was the cord.
Oh, yeah.
And then I didn't even use the clip. I just ran it through my net guard, and that kept it pretty steady.
Yeah, it sounded great. However you had it.
Yeah.
People have asked me, where do I put it? Like, wherever is comfortable for you, because, it's not something that I want it to be like every time you move, you feel it, and it, changes the way that you play. That kind of defeats the purpose.
Because you can adjust the volume of it.
Oh, yeah.
So even if they have it super close to their face where they're really loud, you can just turn it down.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that almost went on the ice. There's kids down there playing with orange stick handling ball, and it almost went over. And he is not happy about that catch. Slams his stick down on the ice.
It's not the stick's fault. We got a stare down? What's going on here with 5 in the goalie? One of the, must have been one of the Shaw guys. When the Shaw A team was playing, I think the B team was down there messing around and they put something on the ice, quote unquote, accidentally.
I must have missed that.
I think it was them. They're the only team here with 2.
Yeah, they're the only one with 2 teams. I guess apparently that was Shawano A playing in the B bracket.
See now, after yesterday's game between Shawano and Reedsburg, I heard a Reedsburg parent kind of grilling a Shawano parent about that, and the Shawano parent said that no, we're actually a B, and then went to explain it, but when she was explaining it, she turned around, so then I couldn't hear, and I never did get the explanation.
Yeah, so that guy I was talking to about the clock rule, he pulled up the Shawano roster on his phone and was showing me, hey, this kid was here, and I'm like, I was just kind of nodding and smiling because, I mean, I have no control over what team plays in this tournament, but
right,
the kids he was showing me, I didn't recognize any of them on the ice, so. But maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention, but the goalie did not look like the same kid that was playing goalie here. Because whatever website Shawano has for their roster, they've got like a picture of the kid and stuff, and their name and number. And I'm like, I didn't see any of these numbers playing. 44 was one that stood out to me, and I had never seen a 44 on Shawano.
What? Ice is slippery.
Yeah. Can't tell if that parent over there is yelling at the ref or yelling at his kid.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell.
I think he's saying you got this. I think he's yelling to his kid. Ooh.
I don't think I've ever heard a parent yell, "You got this," at a ref.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, Bo's got that one.
So penalty coming up on Dubuque, or on Polar Caps, gives Dubuque a power play. Yeah, that COVID year, that was weird of live streaming, and there's like nobody in here. The stands weren't in here. The concession stand was never on, so you never had any smell of popcorn or coffee or anything.
Yeah. I forgot, they didn't have the stands in here.
Nope. Yeah, they never brought them in, I should say.
Yeah.
And then parents, well, the teams couldn't even come in until like right before ice time.
I think they said, I think there was like 30, 45 minutes before games. You couldn't be here any earlier.
And then parents had to wait until 5 minutes before the game started.
Yeah.
And there could only be 2 a player, so.
Yeah, those were some weird times.
Nice thing about that, at least from my standpoint, was Monroe was finally able to host the playoffs, the state championship game for it was Bantams that year.
Yeah.
And that was the first tournament that I live streamed all the way through. That had some interesting moments.
Yeah. I remember, on the car ride home watching the state championship from when we were on the way back from our state tournament.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you guys would have been up north.
Yeah, we were, I'm trying to think how far up north we were. I think it was a few hours maybe.
Because in one of the games, maybe it was like Monroe's first game of the playoffs. I think it was Brady Stewart had logged on and said hi to me in the YouTube chat or whatever.
Yeah.
And said that you guys were up state, and then I asked for I'm like, hey, give me some updates, throughout the weekend, and then you never did.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure you could probably do you remember if he said where they were? Or where we
I
were?
remember I would have to I said it in the video.
Let's say we can probably go back. You probably have to do a lot of searching, but I'm sure you could find it.
I don't think it would take that long.
Yeah. Probably just a matter of remembering what game he logged on for. Ooh, puck's loose. Oh, we got a scuff. Oh, break that up, Bo. Grab him, Bo. Hey, another ball right there. Looks like we got 79 in the box for Polar Caps, and I think
They'd be offsetting though, wouldn't they?
yeah, they would. They haven't put up I can't see what number they got in the box for Dubuque.
They haven't put anything up yet.
Number 2.
Oh.
They just put it up as you said that. They don't need to be on the board. They're incidental. Yeah.
That confuses the heck out of parents, I think.
Yeah.
Come on, the clock's at 0. Get out, get out.
Yeah, last year in the Squirt tournament, I had there was an incidental penalty, and there was 2 kids in the box, and it was 5-on-5. And both parents let the kids out because they put the times on the boards, and they let them out.
I think I remember that.
But the kids were smart enough; they went to the bench, so I didn't have to stop the play. Oh. Yes, that was a hockey game, tied 3-3.
Yeah, for the most part, today's been pretty exciting.
I would say so.
Unofficially, I have them both with 20 shots on goal too, so pretty evenly matched. At least today.
I forget, have these two teams faced off yet this tournament?
Yeah, I think. Did they play each other yet? Podcast Duke. No, they didn't. So this is their first time playing each other.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if these two would ever play in the regular season. I know Monroe plays Dubuque every so often, but
Yeah, I don't know. I would almost think, just knowing the Polar Caps, they usually try to book games that are more evenly matched. So it wouldn't surprise me if they would play during the regular season.
yeah. Do you know what high school team does the Polar Caps feed into? I know it's whatever team Madison Memorial is where Polar Caps are from.
Madison Memorial?
Yeah,
It's underneath him.
but I'm not sure what the name of the high school team would be.
I couldn't tell you that one. So your brother was on the team this year.
Mhm.
Was that the first time that you've been on the same team as him?
No. I think it was my Pee Wee A year. We were on the same team, but that was back when he played goalie.
Oh,
Yeah, he started as a skater and then eventually switched to goalie for a little while, and then he kind of played a little bit of both because Barrett Branley also played goalie,
right.
and then eventually he went back to just being a skater. So he hung up the goalie pads. That was in and out. That was definitely a goal. There you go, Bo. Yeah, you see that one hit the top of the inside of the net and went out. Good job, Bo. Yeah, he played goalie for a few years, and then he hung up the pads 2 seasons ago.
I did not catch that. So it would be a goal for Polar Caps.
Yes. Madison plays Iowa, and it's Weston Memorial. That's
Weston
Polar
Memorial?
Caps.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you, Meredith. I remember last year Blake had a heck of a tournament here.
Yeah,
Not at the Squirts, but
yeah, at the banner level, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty well for himself at the high school level. Besides the size difference, that he's definitely a big target for guys who want to get an easy hit.
Well, that's going to change because as long as he's got part Fallgate in him, he will. I'm quite sure he can take care of himself. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, he's gotten good at avoiding the hits and stuff. Though I don't think even in Bantams and stuff, I don't think I've ever seen him lay a body check.
Well, you know, you could argue that if you're good enough, you don't have to.
That is true. Yeah, you see, in the Bantam tournament that they had here, I forget what team it was. They had one kid that he had many chances where he could easily lay a body check, and he just decided he didn't need to because he could easily skate around the kid. And it's not like he was much smaller than the kids either. He was a good-sized kid, but he just had that mindset where I don't need to do this because it might take me out of the play.
there was a game. Was it the last game? Or if it was either the last game or the last game that was home before that, that Blake had a heck of a game, and he ended up with player of the game or whatever.
Yeah, I think that was not this past Thursday, but the one before it against who was that against? Beaver Dam.
Yes.
Beaver Dam, yeah, he had a good game. His goal that he scored, he shot off the goalie's helmet. He was behind the goal line and hit the goalie in the head, and it went in.
Take it any way you can get it.
Yeah.
You're a defenseman, correct?
No, I play forward.
Is Blake a defenseman?
No, he plays forward as well.
What the hell am I thinking of that? Huh.
Oh, those two are going at it, 17 and 22. It's a puck race. Who's going to win? Smart play by the Polar Caps kid. He saw the guy was beating him, and he took a step in front of him to slow him down. He beat him to the puck.
So after 2, it's a thriller. Polar Caps lead 4-3. Do you have a favorite opponent to play against?
Ooh. I like playing Beaver Dam. Their guys are nice. Like, they're not gonna sit there and I don't know how I want to say sit there and talk crap to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their players they're not sitting there yelling at you the whole game. We're pretty evenly matched with them too.
I was thinking of how traveling teams, how that has changed throughout the years. So when I was in high school, I went to school in Orangeville, and our main rivals at the time were Stockton, maybe Ackland. So whenever you played those teams, you hated them.
Yeah.
And with, traveling teams and AAA teams or whatever you want to call them, how does that, do you really have any rivals, true rivals?
I want to say maybe Oregon or like McFarland. Those are two teams that we've been evenly matched with somewhat. I mean, they think they both got the drop on us this year, but the season before we got a big win against McFarland at their rink.
Oh,
that was a fun one too, because the basketball team also played in McFarland, and their bus broke down, so they rode back with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and both teams had just gotten off a win, so that was definitely a loud bus ride.
Uh-oh. You can't hit the player with a stick, 52.
Oh, they didn't grab any penalties. Oh, Bo found something. Body check. Parents are not very happy about that. A missed slashing call.
Yeah, there probably could have been a couple of different calls there.
Yeah, those two were definitely going at it down there in the corner. Sometimes if they're just giving a little push and shove, nothing too much, I'll let them go as long as they leave each other alone. But once one of them retaliates more than they need to, then
Right.
that's when you got to take someone.
Just to keep it from getting into a bigger issue.
Yeah. Yeah, a big one I've said a couple times is if I see two that are just kind of going at it, I ask them who wants to hurt their team more because I'm only going to take one of them.
That's pretty effective, or at least I think it should be.
Yeah. Saw that one on Shorzy the ref.
Oh, yeah. So, for those who don't know, McFarland's ice is Olympic size.
Yes. Yep, so they're about, I think, what is this, 180 feet about for a regular rink? I think it's 20 feet longer and 10 feet wider.
There is a definite size difference.
You can tell, especially with the circles, how much more of a gap there is between the outside of the circle and the boards. It's weird when you go and play at their rink and then you come back and practice at your own rink, how much smaller it feels.
Do you find that you get, like, tired from skating more?
I've noticed with McFarland's, like most Olympic-sized rinks, you think about it and you're like, yeah, I'm going to be much tired this game. I'm going to be skating a lot more. But McFarland's ice, I like their rink. Besides the no cell service in there, their ice feels kind of fast almost, where some rinks might feel a little more slow.
Okay.
It kind of depends on the humidity and how cold it is in there. If the ice is tougher. Like I know Baraboo's rink, theirs is their ice feels a lot slower. And like the Levon Center, that one's that ice is really soft too because that's such a warm rink.
Yeah.
Even just being on the bench, just sitting still for a while, you're still breaking a sweat. And yeah, those warmer rinks, the ice doesn't freeze as well. So those puddles of water from the Zam might stay there for longer too.
Right.
I know yesterday, or maybe it was Friday, the Polar Caps coach, one of their bench coaches, asked if we could change the puck because he said it was sticking to the ice too much. I've never had a coach ask me for a puck change before.
I mean, I can understand it slowing down because, it's not zammed after every period.
Yeah. This was early on when there were still puddles of water on the ice.
Oh, okay.
But he was saying there's like a bunch of snow on the puck, in which I typically just tap that off with like on my shin pad.
Sure.
But he asked if I could change it.
Some rinks are notoriously cold.
Dodgeville. Their away locker rooms are like in the rink area, and their home are in the warming area.
Yes.
One year, I think it was a Pee-wee's or something, we poured out a water bottle on the floor before the game, and we came back and it was slush, and I'm sure if we would let it sit longer, we would have had our own little ice rink in there.
Oh, yeah.
That is a cold place.
And those away locker rooms in Dodgeville are tiny.
Yeah, it's like each locker room is one of those like half shipping containers.
It's like a little tin shed.
Yeah. Then they've got they call it a heater, but if you put your hand up to it, it feels like an air conditioner.
Yeah.
Polar Caps parents seem to like that one. 73 just lifted the puck up on his stick to pull it over the defender's stick.
Okay.
I've never seen that before. Kind of like he was about to try and do a Michigan, but he was at the top of the circles.
I keep hoping somebody's going to do a Michigan, and then I also keep hoping that sometime a goalie is going to take a shot,
Yeah.
and I'm still waiting on that.
In fact, the goaltender lost his glove on that one.
How what?
He just took the goalie blocker off somebody's stick.
I think he grabbed that kid's stick number 79, and 79 yanked his stick away, and pulling the goalie's glove with him.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because those goalie gloves, the hands don't move very well, do they?
Yeah. They're pretty stiff.
Yeah.
Just never seen that before.
Yeah. Yeah, usually when you see a goalie with a player stick, it's because the goalie lost their stick. Ooh.
That goes in. Back door. The rink at Reedsburg, the last couple of times I was there, was, well, I guess it didn't help that it was like 15 below outside.
That one's usually a pretty cold one too. Their locker room area behind the benches isn't too bad, like inside the locker room, but yeah, out on the ice is cold. What's the call, Maisie? You got to call that goal. They pulled it out. Oh, ball.
That was going to be a no-win situation.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime it gets close like that, I tell the goalie, don't move, otherwise I'm going to call it a goal, because if they try and pull the puck away, I'm just going to assume it was in the net even if it wasn't.
Right.
And I can't see it. But same goes for if like the offensive player tried to push it in when I'm not looking, I'm just going to call no goal.
Mm-hmm. Offsides. Xander was always too honest with the referees. I was like, no, tell him it wasn't in.
Oh, that was a trip. Maybe he's pumping, but. Minute, please. Thank you.
Dubuque on the power play with 8:28 remaining in regulation.
Oh.
Those ones that are redirected right in front of the goalie are almost impossible to guard against.
Yeah. Oh. Poor kid couldn't get his glove up fast enough.
Hit the top of it, but so Dubuque takes advantage of the power play and brings it back to within 2. 6-4 now, Polar Caps.
Offsides.
Yep.
Just barely brought it out and shot his own teammate. Back in the Bantam tournament, Brendan Goody, I remember trying to make a breakout pass, shot his own teammate in the head.
I'm sure it wasn't on
No,
purpose though, right?
no, yeah, no. Brendan was looking up. He was down in corner 3, looking towards corner 1, and his teammate came from out of his field of view, just skated across his shot line. Ooh, little whiff trying to cross the blue line.
I think it was Xander's junior year. They were playing.
Oh, yeah, Bo's gonna grab that one. Hey,
They were playing. Offside or offsetting.
Offsetting, roughing, and tripping.
trying to tell Bo he should give him a double minor for the little push after the play.
Remind those parents not to let them out at 1 minute. Hate it when they do that.
4-on-4. So
Oh,
Why is it 4-on-4?
yeah, it probably should be 5-on-5 because it's 2 minor penalties.
You're still gonna let them out after the whistle, right?
Yeah, no. So since it's 4-on-4, they'll be let out whenever their time gets done.
Is that doing that on you?
it's doing it on its own. I'm not touching it.
It was. That's why you wanted a new one, right?
Yes, it's driving me up the friggin' wall. When Xander was a junior, we played against Edgewood up at the Laban, and he actually ended up having to play both games because Kyle was sick.
Oh.
He got sick on the way up.
Oh. That's
so
not good.
So, yeah, Xander took a lot of shots that night, and I was up near the top of the seats by the walking concourse area.
Yep.
Because there were power outlets there.
Oh. Oh, big save.
And his team almost hit me with the puck.
Huh.
I mean, literally, I had to reach out and stop it from hitting the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I only played 1 season at the Le Mans Center for Edgewood. Then they built their rink my sophomore year. 2 years in a row, I guess the year before, Hayden Barker forgot his shin pads. Going to the same rink, so he borrowed my shin pads my freshman year. But I guess the year before he did the same thing.
Okay, that sounds like something Hayden would do.
Yeah.
I don't know about his high school years, but in the youth games, he had a tendency to throw up before games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or during games, too. They
I
had to
guess-
have a bucket for him.
I'm gonna say I mean, some people have that as their ritual, is to help with the nerves, is to throw up before a game. Polar Caps. Bring it back to a 1-goal game.
No, they lead by 3 now.
Oh, they're winning. Shoot, I thought they were losing. Never mind, they extend their lead.
Yeah, where we're sitting at, the heater there is like the perfect level of cutting everything off from the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That was the thing I had to try and figure out how to get around when I first started doing this, because I didn't want to have to keep looking up and say 4:10 left in the third.
Yeah.
So I started just having a like a webcam down pointing up, which was serviceable, but it wasn't clear.
Yeah, I like the way that you do it where you have your own little scoreboard on there.
I found that to be much easier.
Yeah, I know some rinks that have the little webcam on the scoreboard. You just can't read anything on this film.
Yeah.
Especially if they've got the one with like the really where it's like three lights for, or like they've got like 3 lights for the numbers and stuff, where it's versus ours is a bunch of little ones.
Right.
So if one goes out, the whole number's wrong. Because they replaced that scoreboard 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
The one here?
Yeah.
That was 3?
Oh, was it 3? I know it's fairly new.
Yeah, I want to say they replaced it Xander's junior year.
Okay.
So
That'd be 4 years then, yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Getting old.
I said that to, I was playing men's league the other day, and I told one of the old guys, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting too old for this. Who's next up for the tournament?
Next up is the A championship game between Arrowhead and Verona.
Okay, that's going to be a good game. Those definitely the leaders of this tournament.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, Arrowhead, I compliment their coach on it. They're very disciplined with not overreacting, like when they played the Polar Caps and things started getting dirty. Their players kept their discipline. And they knew, too, like, they knew that they could keep poking at the goalie until I blow the whistle. And that really pissed off some of those players.
I noticed
there.
that.
Yeah. They're like, come on, he's slashing my goalie. I'm like, he's only poking, and he can do it as long as I haven't blown the whistle.
Polar Cap player got hit in the hand.
Oh.
Or maybe wrist.
Yeah.
Someplace that wasn't covered by a glove or a pad.
Yeah. Oh. Just high. You're going to talk about that on the way home, I guess, missing the net.
I used to joke and say that if Xander didn't get X amount of saves, he wasn't allowed to eat that night. And none of it was true.
Yeah. Oh, with Bo over there, a running joke on our team with his dad's his principal and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's a running joke that we have is Bo's got to run laps for hot water for a shower. Laps around the house. And even Bo plays along with it too. Like he'll say, "Oh yeah, we have to run double laps tonight for how I played tonight." All in good fun.
Yep.
Then we got Monroe and
Shaw
for the B championship. That's at 3:30. Though with how things are going, that might start a little sooner. We're about a minute left in the game. 21:40.
Yeah.
Probably end up being about 10 minutes ahead of schedule.
That's just fine with me.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday was a long day. Like 13 hours in here.
Yeah. At least it's a little warm up here by the heaters, but even then I'm still feeling the cold right now.
Oh yeah, trust me, there's no heat up here.
Aw.
Those
Yeah,
heaters aren't directed anywhere near us.
you gotta get a little space heater up here for you.
You know, I thought about that, and somebody offered me that, the one that's down there in the
Ref room?
or the time clock,
Oh.
and I would have to keep it so close to my leg, it would probably end up melting one of my cables.
Yeah.
So I got heated socks. That helps a lot.
Oh, like the heated vest almost, or
Kinda, yeah. It's the same principle. They each
they
have
got
a
like those coils.
well, it's got a little rechargeable battery pack
Yeah.
in it, and you can have it 3 different settings.
That's got to be nice.
I forgot the batteries yesterday, so
Oh.
by the time I got home, I couldn't feel my toes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, your whole body's cold when you're out there reffing, but the toes is definitely my toes and feet get cold very fast. All right, I better go get ready.
Good luck. We'll be watching, obviously.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Can you lift up a second?
Oh.
Thank you.
So, Polar Camps win this one 7-4. For you?
Yeah.
Yes. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry,
That's okay.
I didn't want to lift my cot.
No, that. Absolutely, I concur. Hope everybody had fun this weekend. I enjoyed watching both teams skate and play hockey, and hopefully we'll see you again next year. I'll be here. I'll be here streaming it, unless they lock me out, which is possible. I'm going to switch out graphics and be back with the A championship game featuring Arrowhead.